attacks at the moment this year, and I didn't need anyone to tell me that Matty Smith had a shit game.
No.
And I didn't need anyone to tell me that Wigan were beaten by a team that played far better on the night. Those attacking structures that they're throwing out remind me of what we used to do with Sam Tompkins years gone by.
Well, he's back training now. There were pictures of him all over Twitter today, shorn of his beard. So maybe this is boding well for times to come.
Well, yeah, but this is it's boding well for now for Widnes that they're playing so well and managing to get through the best defence so many times. Wigan scrambled back a couple of times and closed things down, particularly in the first half. But it felt like watching it that Wigan never made any ground in the middle of the pitch. Yeah, it just felt like, which is weird when we look at the stats, actually.
Yeah. One of the things I was impressed with by Widnes was how they kept a cool head when they did get into attacking positions, and they didn't like they had to work hard against you guys because you are a good defensive outfit, but when they got little advantages and little breaks, they didn't panic. And I think the case in point for that was the free play midway through before they scored the third try. And was it Corey Thompson who kicked the ball through, or no, Charlie Runciman had put the ball through, and one of them fell on. Rather than trying to kick it to the end and get in and score quickly, they actually took the free play, gathered themselves, and played from there and kept momentum going that way. And I think that kind of cool head under pressure is something that they've developed for me in terms of not panicking when they get into potentially winning situations, and actually they saw the game plan through. So they've been very, very well coached, and I really rate Dennis Betts at the minute in terms of the way he's turning his side out, and like you say,
I think a lot of credit probably should go to Hodgson.
Yes,
because he's, from what I understand, he's their attack coach,
right?
And their
can't think of any better, can you really?
Their attack has been threatening for a while, but not quite as consistent as this. Maybe is helped by the fact that Mella Brown and Hanbury have played every single minute of the season so far. The other person then you would be crediting on the top of that, as well as Betts and as well as Hodgson, is Cassidy, because he's a defence coach, and their defence is far more consistent and far more robust in the middle of the pitch than it's been before.
Do you think Mick Cassidy still listens to us?
I don't know. I hope so.
I hope so too.
But now he's at top of the league, high flyer. Why would he listen to us guys? It's not like back when they were in 12th and he
had lots of time on his hands.
But now now he's busy plotting how to shut down the next Super League attack.
True.
Basically, it felt like their defence was stifling us, and we were kicking the ball on our own 40 or on the halfway line. They were kicking it on our 30. They were in better position more often than not. They won the territory without having to make the meters, because they were getting kicked. They were getting the ball in the middle of the pitch. I think that.
Okay, so what did the stats tell us then about the game?
Well, it's amazing sometimes how the numbers tell a different story to what we all saw, because Wigan came out on the better end of more key stats than Widnes did, really. Okay. Wigan had 7 more sets in the game, 27 more carries, 173 more metres were made, and 1 fewer penalty, 2 fewer errors from the Wigan side. Low error count in this game, both actually, which it
wasn't enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. It was a good game to watch.
The first half was almost breathless. There was hardly any stoppages. Tackle success, and in fact there was only 2 knock-ons as well, and they were both the 2 where the players were trying to offload it. There was the O'Loughlin one and the Whitley one. They were the only 2 I could remember. Tackle success and average game were very close. Widnes having very tiny wins, and I mean tiny, like it was down to 3 decimal places on the percentage or something. It was ridiculous how close they were, but Widnes were slightly better in those 2 things. The big number they won on, though, was breaks, 8-5 clean breaks, and attacking kicks, 14-12. They show that Wigan had more ball, but Widnes posed more of an attacking threat, which is something we all saw in the game. Obviously, goal kicking was in their favour too, 3 for 4 from Hanley, none for 3 from Smith, although Smith's kicks were all quite close from out wide, and to hang him for those.
I don't think you can hang him, but I think it was
his in-game kicking that was shitter, giving it to Corey Thompson on the
normally his in-game kicking is a lot better than that, but it's been a mark of Wigan in the last sort of 2 to 3 years that field goal kicking hasn't been something where you've played the percentage game, because Matty Smith has been one of the, he's been around that sort of 65% mark, hasn't he, rather than in fact lower. He's not been the greatest goal kicker, has he? And I think at times that there's been, I can think of 2 or 3 occasions in the last sort of year and a half where it's cost you points. And if you think back to how close,
I can't think of any game at all where Matty Smith's goal kicking has cost us if we're holding him unless we're holding him to a different standard than other kickers. Because what we're saying is Matty Smith has to kick at 100%, but Reece Hanbury doesn't apparently.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
But when we played Castleford and lost 2 seasons ago, and Matty Smith's goal kicking cost us the game. Again, Matty Smith missed 2 kicks. The Castleford goal kicker missed 2 kicks.
Okay.
If everyone kicked all their kicks, the game would have ended with the same outcome.
Right.
This is what I know. Like, it might change things as it goes along, but I don't think it's fair to hold Matty Smith's goal kicking to a different standard to what you're holding Reece Hanbury's goal kicking to.
Matty Smith's goal kicking is not the reason you lost this game.
No, it's not.
But
Matty Smith in game kicking.
Matty Smith kicking those goals ties the game up.
No, it doesn't, because we're holding Reece Hanbury to a different standard then, because he's allowed to miss kicks and not be slaughtered for it and cost his team winning the game, whereas Matty Smith can't afford to... No, I'm not having that argument, and I don't have it about any players either. Like, Jordan Lilly, we had this a few weeks ago, where he cost them the game against Catalans, but then he won them the game next week. It's just bullshit.
No, it doesn't win and lose games. Look, ultimately, effort and execution is what wins and loses you games. But if Matty Smith was a better goal kicker, that would improve your chances of winning games like this, because he's more likely to kick the goals over. So it does have an impact. He's not the reason you lost, but you give yourself that extra weapon and that extra advantage by having a goal kicker who can slot over it, let's just say 75%.
Reece Hanbury missed the kick Reece Hanbury missed was an easier kick, narrower angle than the 3 kicks Matty Smith didn't kick.
Yes, but Reece Hanbury's kicking isn't the reason Widnes won the game.
No.
The reason Widnes won the game... do you see what I'm saying? Widnes won the game because they played better and they worked harder, and as a team they executed their game plan.
I just think the whole narrative across the sport of goal kickers costing you games. Unless he misses shockingly
I don't hang people by it, but... playing percentages and scoring points is how you win rugby league matches.
Okay. So out where he misses 3 kicks from, Pat Richards, who is the best kicker Wigan have had since Frano Botica, would have kicked 2 out of the 3 and still would have lost the game.
But it does turn on things. Over a season, it does turn things.
Over a season, Wigan have got to 3 fucking grand finals in a row. I'm not worried about over a season. We've won things over a season.
Let's see what happens this season then.
Yeah.
So individually, who stood out for us? Because I bet it wasn't Matty Smith.
No, well, he did. He stood out for all the wrong reasons, didn't he? But Reece Hanbury with a try assist and 159 metres. Yeah. Corey Thompson.
He did only kick 3 out of 4 though.
Yeah, I know. He could have cost his game.
Could have cost his team the game.
Matty Smith had been kicking better. Corey Thompson with 7 tackle busts, 166 metres and 2 clean breaks. He also probably should have had a try onto that. Cahill, 42 tackles, 117 metres, and Charlie Runciman with a try and a try assist. Now that Charlie Runciman try was just typical Widnes this year, and they made space and opportunities out on the left edge just as much as they did on the right edge, and Mellor and Brown were all over the place interchanging, and Brown's in-game kicking was phenomenal, and they just...
they're on the crest of a wave at the minute.
Brilliant.
Long may it continue from a neutral point of view, so who stood out for Wigan?
Josh Charnley with 2 tries, 5 tackles, 175 metres, 3 clean breaks, and he's apparently now considering staying at Wigan because there's been maybe an improved offer or a plea or some sort for him to stick around rather than go and play for the dirty code. Liam Farrell with a try and 270 metres. Also, Liam Farrell had a clean game, no missed tackles, no errors, no penalties. For someone who was playing with apparently a busted shoulder and was a question to get into was a question mark for the game, that's a pretty outstanding performance in what was generally not.
Just imagine if he'd been playing fit.
Yeah, or if Matty Smith was kicking.
Yeah, exactly.
Dan Sargent had 1 try assist, 169 metres, 3 successful offloads, and Anthony Gelling, 126 metres, 6 successful offloads. We all still love Gelling.
We do.
Or hate him.
He shits where he wants.
Right. Measure.
Okay, lots of feedback and tweets on this one. Mark Butler said, what a performance from Widnes. First half pressure became second half incision, and perhaps it could have been even better considering 2 Wigan tries came gift-wrapped. Still early days, but performances so far seem built on something substantial. Paul O'Brien, 1976, said, mistakes led to all 3 tries for Wigan. We dug deep tonight and a great result for the Vikings. Wire Joe. So it was a cracking game. First time I've seen Widnes since we spanked them at Christmas, but I can't believe it's the same team. They're playing some classy, free-flowing rugby. Looking forward to the Good Friday game already. Brian Davies said he really enjoyed this game. It was very tight. Great to not see Widnes throw stupid passes or give away daft penalties, which is usually what happens when the lesser clubs go to the top teams. Widnes stuck in there and with a better side. Doubt it will last, though. Tom Eckley99, who's also a Warrington fan, said Widnes are really great to watch from an attacking point of view. I think that Aaron Jeremiah is their unsung hero. Alan Witts, well, I bloody enjoyed that. Both sets of players will be buggered today. At half-time, it looked like Wigan would grind out a win like Wigan do. The second half burst into life. Brown not on form, but Widnes still exciting to watch. Clubb and Smith unlucky not to be sin-binned.
Yeah, we had a few on this, so there's a few more that are going to come up later on. I personally think it would have been harsh on Tony Clubb because I thought he was square. But you do see that sort of thing gets. I mean, it was very far up the field. It wasn't. It didn't stop a definite try.
Yeah.
I think is the other argument for not simming in that one.
Matty Smith's leg.
I mean, it's not the rule anymore that there's an automatic card from a triple. No. But I think it should have been. I was very surprised. I think Matty Smith was very surprised. Everyone sat around me was very surprised that it wasn't a sin bin.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had any qualms with it being a sin bin. And Silverwood didn't seem to want to get the cards out at all, though. We also had some people, which I'm sure we'll get to, say Josh Charnley should have been sin bin for when he fell on the ball when Sargentson inexplicably dropped it after he caught it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when he slipped, I think he must have kneed it out or something. I didn't watch the stupid game back. Well, with this. No.
Well, we can stick it on if you want.
Fuck off. But anyway, when Josh Charlton picked that up to save a try-scoring opportunity, and I questioned whether or not that had ever been given us a sin bin in before, deliberate accidental offside or
deliberate offside,
But apparently it happened in a St Helens game, Diane mentioned, so fair enough, I stand corrected on that one. But again, I would have been surprised to see it in any game. I wouldn't be, as a Wigan fan, I wouldn't have been shouting for a sin bin in that situation the other way around, let's put it that way. And I wouldn't have been on the Tony Clubb one. The Matty Smith one, I'm really surprised.
I was surprised Matty Smith pocket. Yep. Okay, Elliot Wrench, Smith's trip up, turning point or not, interesting crucial point of the game. As a neutral and wishing they'd both lose, it was a close one right at the wire. Nice one, Elliot.
I thought it was actually the John Bateman penalty for messing around on the floor when it got all over the head of whichever player it was, I can't remember, on the last tackle. On the first time we'd actually restricted them, they were going to be kicking inside their own 30 and we gave away a stupid fucking last tackle penalty, and that actually I think spurred them into action, because Wigan also conceded tries off the back of mistakes just like Widnes did in this one.
Clubfoot 25, explain how that deliberate trip by Matty Smith is missed. Decisions go to top 4 teams week in, week out, so I guess Widnes can expect some decisions to go their way over the next few weeks then.
I think Clubfoot's a Castleford fan.
Right. So. Well, please do keep contributing. I didn't mean to be quite so glib. Mr. Jeff Jefferson, best team won tonight. Pure heart and desire from Widnes. Wigan got away with at least 2 clear yellow cards, possibly 3. Darren Garner, I thought Matty Smith couldn't get any worse. How wrong was I? Smiley face poop. Well deserved Widnes. Tim Griffiths asks if it's too early for us to say #Wigan Slump 2016.
I wish it wasn't fucking so many tweets on this game.
Well, let's get through them then, because you'll like this one. Diane LBW, absolute belter of a game. Widnes are a joy to watch this season. Glad they won. Always glad to see Wigan beaten. Winky face. Dom Hodgson, I know Mark's pissed off at the moment, but as a semi-neutral, I thought it was a fucking cracking game. Good lad. Score/winner aside, plenty of great play and mistakes all round. Well, we got a tremendous amount of mistakes, I don't think, but okay.
Well, there were some serious mistakes, there wasn't there? I mean,
in terms of errors and things, it was
a lot. The error count was quite low, and the penalty count was fairly low, but the ones that were made were significant. I think that's what Don was getting at. It helped add to the excitement.
It certainly did, and I agree, it was a great game. That's the sort of game I want to see at the grand final. Paul Wilson, who's Rhino_Paul, first big test for Widnes, and they passed it, worked hard for it, and got their reward. Interesting that he doesn't think Widnes' first big test was at home against the Rhinos on the opening day, but fair enough. And Chris McEwen, He got in touch. Chris McKeown, I can't even do it jokingly. Chris McKeown got in touch. He said, no need to panic because we've won 5 out of 6, but it's worrying how poor and one-dimensional our attack is. In the 6 we've played, we've lost, inverted commas, the second half 4 times. The 2 we won against Huddersfield and Leeds were against injury-hit sides. Our teams may be finding it easier against us as games go on. We do have 4 internationals missing, and 3 of those in key positions. Paul O'Brien then got back in touch, said he's finally calmed down about last night's games. This is obviously on Friday. Showed last night that we can dig deep in games. We are still making silly mistakes and giving away too many penalties. Another 2 points.